In the church that I went to, or in my mom's church, or whatever, they believe homosexuality was unacceptable.
Basically, they're religious groups that do not accept that there are any gay, lesbian, transgender, or bisexual members in the group.
When you hear something repeated over and over and over and over again, and it's messages of hatred, when it's messages of fear, you start to believe it after a while.
Do I want to see my family? If it's under the conditions of the past, no. I would rather never see them again.
That freshman year in college, I was starting to separate myself from my parents, starting to live sort of this new life, and I was already being out. It's just I wasn't out to my parents yet. So that year, my hair, instead of getting progressively longer, it got progressively shorter. My mom takes this as a signal. Randomly, while I'm standing there, out of nowhere, she says, "You know, with your haircut, everyone's gonna think you're gay." So I said, "Oh shit. Well, should I lie to her and then have to bring this whole subject up, which is so difficult in itself? Or do I just tell her now and just deal with the consequences?" So I said, "What if I am?" And she said, "You like girls?" in Mandarin. And for some reason, it just sounded so much worse in Mandarin. So I said, "Yes." And she said, "Oh, no, you're not. You just haven't found the right guy yet." And so I said, "You know, Mom, you have to keep your mind open that someday, somehow, somewhere, I just might never find that guy."
It was on Easter, which is really, really interesting. It was a Sunday morning. We went to Mass, and the priest was talking about how that day was like a brand new day to, just start fresh and just, forget, all your problems and just, just leave everything behind and live a new life, And listening to him say that, I was like, you know what? I think this would be a perfect day for me to come out, to my parents. And so, on our way back to San Diego that same night, the whole issue, or this suicide issue came up. And I was like, "Mom," I'm like, "I've thought about suicide before." And she's like, "Why?" She's like, why would you even do that? You're in college, you're young, you have so many things to do. Why would you even, think of doing that? So I just told him, yeah, I'm gay, right? And my dad was driving, and we were on the highway on 5, and he just got off. He got so mad, and he was like, "Don't think of coming back home anytime soon. Don't talk to your brothers. We don't want you to influence them, or like we say, we really think that you were influenced. It's just a phase that you're going through. You're not being open about things, and you just haven't found the right girl. I mean, my dad basically told me, 'Son, you need to get some pussy.'" My parents were blaming me, like they were saying, you decided to be gay. It's your own choice. I'm like, well, why would I choose to be gay if I know it's gonna be a hard path? If I know you guys are not gonna like it? If I know that you're not, if I know that society looks down upon it, why would I decide to go through all this trouble? I don't think no one wants to go through that trouble.
When I was in high school, I was very, a lot of people didn't know it, but I was very suicidal. I used to fall asleep on the floor in my kitchen with a knife in my hand, and would think of all the different ways to kill myself. And then when I came out, the clouds descended and all the gloominess was gone, and I could be who I wanted to be. For me, I was just born with the knowledge that this is how I was. And it took a really long time to figure out what the word was. And I finally found the word, and I could say it out loud and be like, okay, this is who I am. I was okay with it. The first person I ever came out to was my little brother. I pulled him into a room, and I was just so excited and so scared, and I didn't know what to do. And finally, I just grabbed him and I said, I need to tell you something because I have to tell somebody, and you're the only person that I can trust. And I said, okay. I said, I'm gay. And he's like, duh. I'm like, this is the most important announcement of my entire life, and he's duh. And that's when I knew that I'd be okay. Because if my brother was okay with me and he was 8 years old, then I'd be okay.
I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, and they're very strong. They have a very strong rule against homosexuality. And I was experimenting with the gay lifestyle, I guess, in New York. My parents knew full well what had happened because I told them. I was completely honest. They felt like they needed to help me stay in the religion, so they hired a family psychologist, and he happened to be a Jehovah's Witness as well. And the whole purpose of the visits were to de-gay me. And so when I did come out, because I did come out at a family psychologist meeting, because I guess that's where I felt the safest in a strange sort of way. I think my mom always knew, and she told me that she did not want me to come back with my diseases. She said that, and I told her to fuck off, and I left. And about a month later, I moved out. That was about 7, 8 years ago, and I haven't seen him or talked to him since.